Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Asim. I'm working as DevOps engineer. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how easily you can set up the Kafka cluster, and we are going to use the Bitnami Helm chart, right? And this is the repo I've created for you guys. What we are going to do, we are going to set up the local kind cluster for easy understanding. I'm going to use my AWS account, right? This EC2 machine, but the concept is pretty much same. You can use your local VM like in VMware or VirtualBox. The concept is exactly the same. So guys, what I've done, I've simply taken a shell into this guy and I'm going to simply copy uh, that particular copy that particular script from here, and the script is going to be like the kind cluster script. So if you're using the Amazon Linux, it's not a requirement, but we are using, let's say, Ubuntu, and usually people use, in their local setup, Ubuntu box. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply copy this guy, and I'm going to say like vim kind.shell. So what this script do, it is going to install the kind cluster, and let me show you once pasted the stuff we are going to do. Okay, save this guy and just trying to make this guy ch mod 700, okay, to kind, and simply I'm going to do, let's say, bash uvx, and I'm going to install. So guys, what we are doing here, we are going to set up the docker compose, right? And let me show you from here. So in this particular script, we are going to set up the current cluster. For that, we need a Docker, and we need for Kubernetes kubectl installation. Along with that, we need Helm, and also the kind cluster utility. We are going to use the latest version of kind, right? And we are going to install that. Then we are going to set up the master nodes and worker nodes. So in this particular demo, we are going to set up one master node, right? And two worker nodes. So in past, guys, I've already made video with regard to the ingress setup. These are the settings regarding the ingress. If you want to see that particular video, simply you need to navigate to my channel, Cloud Geeks. Simply type here Nginx ingress. If you want to set up, like, for easy understanding the ingress setup, you can easily watch that particular video, right? These are the videos, you can watch that. And if you want to learn regarding the TLS, all that stuff I've already covered, right? So this particular demo is pretty much regarding the uh, Kafka Bitnami. So we have almost done with the first part, setting up the Kubernetes cluster. This is how easy it is. Then we are going to check the commands. These are the commands regarding the adding of, local repo. This is the remote repo. We are going to add this local repo, but we need to check the version. One thing you need to understand, you just don't need to blindly install the latest version, because the latest version I'm going to show you is on different, might be, I think, 25 is the latest version, but we are going to set up the classical Kafka cluster, which includes the worker nodes, which includes the broker nodes, along with the, let me show you that part, okay. And this is the enable Kafka part, enable Kafka enable craft, right? So in I have disabled it. So in this particular mode, you will not see the zookeeper. Zookeeper is actually merged into that particular node. So in classical Kafka, we have the zookeeper along with the Kafka nodes, right? So zookeeper manages those Kafka node and used for service discovery. So anyway, we are going to set up the classical way, but this version is actually applicable till this version. I tested. I'm going to show you that. So let's see the status of our kind cluster. If I do kubectl get nodes, I should be able to see my worker nodes and the master node, right? You see, we have one worker nodes, three worker nodes and one master node, which is the control plane. And this is the version we are using. If you want to change the version, right, simply navigate to script and simply update this version. Although I can create this as a variable up, but I'm using this particular version. You just need to simply update this particular version, right? So that is it regarding the setup. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this guy locally. Either if you're using your local VM machine, I'm going to bring this guy into my kind cluster. Into my lens. And regarding the lens, I've already created a lot of videos. So what you need to do, so I'm going to simply do SSH hyphen NL, right? And I'm going to use this port 8443 and type this and it sorry 8443. Why I'm doing it, I'm going to show you shortly. So this is the key, and the key is okay. Let me type .geeks.pem because I'm in the wrong path. So Ubuntu at IP is gonna be config.me. So I need to type as well curl config.me. So this is my machine public IP. I need to paste this here, right? And let me do that. Okay. Okay. The error is I need to cd into desktop and run this particular command again. So let's do that. So what it does, guys, it is going to make a tunnel, SSH tunnel to this particular machine, and these ports are going to be available locally. So what I'm going to do, navigate to my local machine, open the lens, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply import the um, config, right, or the context here for this cluster, and this is the config file. So what I need to do, I need to copy this. Okay, let me just quickly copy this guy, and these are the keys of these cluster. I want to use this cluster in lens to get more visibility and understanding. So let's see, and let it open in the lens, and then we are going to simply use those particular commands, right? So guys, let me do that. So from here, I'm going to click add cluster, right? And I'm going to press Control V here, scroll it down, add this particular cluster, right? This cluster is added. So I'm going to click this guy. It will try to connect with our cluster, and shortly you will see we are able to use that particular cluster locally. So this is a cluster name. It is trying to access that guy. You see, these are our pods, default pods running here, right? So you can easily get a lot of understanding regarding your cluster, right? Okay, from the command line, what I'm going to do, let me show you that particular stuff. So if I do Control L here, and we are going to see some of the understanding regarding the adding of repo. So let's try to do this, copy this command and paste it. You will see nothing, right? Although Helm is already installed. So I'm going to copy paste all these commands and show you the stuff. So we are going to use, we are going to add this particular repo, right? And then what we are going to do, we are going to use this particular command, although this is not at this stage required, but it is going to simply update those particular repos which are locally, already existing in your um, local directory, right? So guys, what this command does, helm search repo Bitnami, it will show all the particular chart from Bitnami. If you scroll here, this stuff you can easily see from here as well. If you click this guy, lens default by default give you Bitnami chart. So let's say if I wanna search for the chart like Kafka, and you will see this is the latest version of Kafka, and as I told you that it uses the Bitnami. This is the repository, right? And I'm going to show you similar stuff from here as well, and I'm going to use some of the version as well. So now we are going to search this Bitnami Kafka repo, right? You see, this is the version 25.1.5. Okay, this is the latest version you already seeing here. So what we are going to do, we are going to use the command line, and I wanna show you this command. This will show you the version, right? And simply we are going to check the versions. So you will see all the versions from start to end, and if you navigate to the end, this is the latest version. As I told you, this latest version, if you try and use this particular command, it's not going to work because now by default it is not using Zookeeper, so you will not see Zookeeper. You need to disable some of the setting, but we are going to use this particular version, right? And if you want to see the chart, detailed chart, you can see those particular stuff from here as well. Simply copy paste this command, and also if you navigate to this command, let's say if you want to install it from here, we can do that, but we are going to use CLI, and we are going to actually search different versions from here. You see, scroll it down and you will see that particular version from here, and you can do the installation as well. Similar stuff you can do from this lens as well. How cool it is. So guys, we are going to use these custom values, right? So image to replica count is going to be 3, and as I told you, we are going to disable this graph setting, which I already discussed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply copy this graph, Kafka values.yaml. I need to create here. So I'm going to say nano this time, and let's say Kafka dash values dot YAML, right? Simply you need to create this, paste it, press Control S and X. Oops, Control S for save and Control X. Okay, for exit. So this particular file is okay. Let me do cat to make sure that everything we have saved is okay. Seems to be okay. Let's try to install this particular chart, and we are going to use this particular command, right? And then I'm going to show you the UI in the lens. So it seems like I'm double pasting it. So let's paste one more time. Okay, so I'm going to give you the demonstration from here. So we are going to create a new namespace Kafka, and we are going to install this particular chart Kafka release. We are going to give this name, right? And we are going to say Bitnami Kafka create namespace. If it is not there, definitely it is not there because we have set up the fresh cluster. Persistence size is going to be 8 gigs, and log persistence is going to be 8 gigs. Volume permission enable true persistence, all this stuff we are giving from these, overriding the values and with the set command, right? And we are going to use this particular version. So if I navigate to this section releases, and I need to select this particular namespace, you see Kafka, and you will see shortly that particular release is going to be available if everything goes well. So it is in the installation process and seen, and it is not deployed. So if you navigate to the pod section, we can use the CLI as well. You see the pods, some of the pods are spin up, and some of the stuff is already in pending state. So these are the pod. If I give this guy, scroll this guy, so you will see that some of the stuff regarding the zookeeper is already spin up, and now it is looking to spin up these main Kafka brokers, right? And shortly, once these are available, we are going to take a shell into these guys, right? So in this latest version of Lens, they have really, upgrade these, uh, settings regarding this. So you are not seeing currently the memory and CPU because you need to install the metric server for that. So in my repos, there are settings how to install the metric server in kind. You can do that. So what we are going to do, okay, let's say we're gonna take a shell into this particular guy, and let me do let me do that. Okay, okay, let me do see the status. on what node it is running. You can easily watch this particular pod on which particular node it is running. So you can watch that. So uh, let me let me do that. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a shell into one of my nodes, right? So let me take a shell into these guys. So I'm going to take a shell, and we are going to take a shell into this Kafka release, right? And if I'm going to open, so it is going to look for start from the bash, and then it is going to see if there is any other shell available, and then we are going to see the connectivity, right? So excuse me. You see, it is looking for bash, ASH, and SH, and if it is able to find one shell, so you see, not found, and it is able, we are able to connect it in the Kafka. So if I do ls and everything is available, and I'm going to take one more shell, right? Let's say take one more shell into another pod, and so you see, Kafka release one, Kafka release zero, right? And what we are going to do, scroll it down. The same stuff you can do from here as well. For instance, if I navigate to this area, right, and if I do kubectl get node, if you don't want to use lens, you can easily use these particular command line tool to exec into this particular pod. I already done that, right? So press Control D to exit, right? Now, guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a topic, and the name of the topic is going to be test. And simply, I'm going to paste the command here. Let me do that. So let me paste the particular command here, and I'm going to copy this guy. Okay, copy seems to be not really working good here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to exec here, right? Exec into this machine, and I'm going to simply paste this command here. So I'm going to create a topic, right? And the topic name is going to be test. Okay. And it says it, okay, it has paste two times. So let me paste one more time. Okay. So you see one topic created and the topic name is test, right? So, okay, let me, okay, this topic is created, and now what we can do the verification as well. I mean, rest of the stuff you can do yourself. Okay, this is the headless service in Kubernetes. This is the explanation I'm giving here from the top. For instance, for the verification, what we are going to do, we are going to use this headless service. So if I navigate to this section, and if I navigate to network area services, you will see, and let me close this particular stuff for give you more easy visibility. And if I scroll it down, you see these headless services. So I mean, if you do kubectl to get services in the namespace Kafka, you will get the same. So what is headless service? I've given the explanation here. You can see that it is not going to attach any IP to these pods, and you can directly access those particular pod with the DNS name. So definition is there. So we need to verify, and what we are going to do, we are going to simply copy this particular command and to check whether our test topic is successfully created. So guys, this is not the video did with detail regarding the, I mean, Kafka cluster. You see, I can type anything here, test. Okay, um, press here, press awesome. Okay, and I'm going to exit from here. Let's see what entries we have in our test topic. We are going to start from the beginning. Let's try to copy this command and see, and we should be able to see those particular stuff. You see, test and RSM now is available. So guys, as I told you, this video is regarding the setup of Kafka cluster. Detailed videos I will be covering later in my tutorials. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.